Muslim history is overflowing with awe-inspiring creations in the realms of art, architecture, and literature, but it's also filled with many significant and world-changing inventions. Here are 10 of them as reported by CNN. Number 10. Surgery. Dr. Al-Zahrawi literally wrote the book on surgery about 1,000 years ago. It was used throughout Europe for the next 500. He's also credited with inventing forceps and figuring out that cat guts make great dissolvable stitches. Number 9. Coffee. The first pot was brewed in Yemen in the 9th century. In the early days, it helped Sufis stay awake for their late-night devotions. The beverage soon began to make the rounds in the area and finally ended up in Europe in the 16th century. Number 8. Flying machine. Long before Leonardo da Vinci started dreaming of flight, Abbas bin Farnas was actually trying it. He built his first flying machine in the 9th century, and for a little while it worked. A very little while.
He covered his body in a bird costume, guided himself into the harness, and told the crowd, "By guiding these wings up and down, I should ascend like the birds."
Number 7. University. The world's very first degree-granting university was founded in Fez, Morocco in 859. It was established by Fatima al-Thiri, a young princess, nearly 1,200 years later, and it's still going strong. Number 6. Algebra. Whether you want to thank him or blame him, all the credit goes to Persian mathematician al-Khwarizmi. He penned the treatise that defined a new algebraic order in the 9th century. Number 5. Optics. Prior to the discoveries of Al-Haytham in the year 1000, it was widely believed that the eye itself emitted the light that makes sight possible. He set the record straight, proving that it takes in light that is bounced off other surfaces. Number 4. Music. Okay, not all music, but many from the Middle East contributed greatly to its development. The lute and the rahab, which influenced the creation of the violin, were both introduced to Europe by Muslim musicians. Also, the scale we use today is said to come from the Arabic alphabet. Number 3. Toothbrush. Thankfully, around the year 600, the Prophet Muhammad reportedly had the good sense to fashion one out of a twig. The tree it came from also had breath-freshening qualities. Number 2. The crank. The first known instance of converting rotary movement to a linear one occurred in the Middle East in the 12th century. Since then, the method has been used worldwide for lifting heavy objects, driving internal combustion engines, and creating bicycles. Number 1. Hospitals. The earliest known versions of them began to pop up in Muslim world late in the 9th century. They had centers for teaching as well as patient wards.
The three brothers of Banu Musa are scholars from the 9th century Baghdad. Their names in order of seniority were Muhammad, Ahmad, and Al-Hasan. Muhammad was a specialist in geometry and astronomy, while Ahmad worked mainly on mechanics, and Al-Hasan excelled in mainly geometry. Their book Al-Kitab al-Hiyal, the Book of Ingenious Devices, is an outstanding contribution in the field of mechanical sciences. It is a large illustrated work on mechanical devices including automata. The book describes 100 devices and how to use them. Some of these inventions include valve, float, feedback controller, a programmable machine, and various fun gadgets. Their most famous written work was the Book of Measurements of Plane and Spherical Figures. This work became well known through its translation into Latin by Gerard of Cremona. The brothers also patronized and supported the translation of many Greek classical works.
Do you want it? Have it. Have you ever wished for a life full of joy? No sorrow, no sadness, no pain, and no toil. Have you ever wished for an everlasting life? Companions.
Welcome to the magical and mystery tour of the inventions and discoveries of the Muslim world during the period of their stay in Iberia, a virtual journey beyond your imagination. At that time, the Caliphate of Córdoba was a cultural reference in the advanced world, and many of those instruments, utensils, and inventions, today recognized by all humanity, had Al-Andalus as a reference. The geographical conditions of the terrain were the keys that made the Muslims take advantage of one of the best defensive sites in the area that constructs a city fortress to control the entire territory.